So audience, we'll start the session. Okay, audience. Okay. So we are going to discuss about the GARCH model, right? GARCH and GARCH model. Okay. So why we are going for what is the GARCH model? It is generalized, auto-regressive, conditional heteroscedasticity model. Actually, when this model, when this model will be used, when this particular model will be used. So a scholar who is using the high frequency data, okay, high frequency data, like daily exchange rate, or if you go for daily the stock market returns or stock price, or the commodity market price, high frequency data. So you will end up with the problem. Do you remember the first class I told you, there are three assumptions, right, to be fulfilled. What are the first one is there should no autocorrelation, and there is no multicollinearity, and there should not be the heteroscedasticity. It should be homoscedasticity. So equal spread of the variance. Okay, so what will happen if the time series data, when you're using high frequency data, so which is subject to, if you look at the high frequency data, you can see the characteristics will be here, right? You can see here sometimes. If you plot and see, you just plot your data and see, you can see this kind of characteristics, correct? No, better. Which usually, we say it's a volatility cluster. Volatility cluster. So technically, the mean is tend to be changing frequently. The mean value, right? The mean value. So average won't be consistent. Put in a very simple way, it will be keep on changing. And also, when mean changes, what about the deviation? The deviation from the mean, we call it as a standard deviation or the variation. The variance keep on changing and subject to time. Correct? No. So time invariant. This is what you should understand. Time invariant, unequal spread. Time invariant and should be unequal spread. So ultimately, so this type of data violate the properties of the OLS. Well, so what is the solution here? So we can go for Archon or Garshan, the eGarch model. There are different types of Garch models. We call it as the Garch family. Garch family of Garch models. eGarch model, threshold Garch model, power arch model. Okay, so there are many models are there, n number of models are there. Okay, so please, so basic model is Garch model, followed by the eGarch model, which frequently used by the journal articles, especially those who are dealing with the PhD scholars or the faculty member, those who are interested in dealing with the high frequency data set. Okay, so you got idea, right? Okay. So now you look at the finance, especially those who are dealing with the high frequency data, the time series data. First, they will test the descriptive characteristics of the data set. Okay. Through graph or through some descriptive statistics or through, arch effect, whether the confirm whether there is a arch effect exists or not. Simple graph is sufficient, or might be some people go with the residuals. Plot the residual and see the residual is, like it is it will reveal the heteroscedasticity effect and reveal the cluster effect. Not only in terms of return, it also in terms of residual also you can deduct it. Okay, so first thing is the volatility clustering. Yeah, what I said is here, the big shocks. Okay, you can plot returns and also you can prove through, you find out the volatility clustering through the residuals. We will do in practical. Okay, so how to identify the heteroscedasticity effect? I mean, the volatility clustering effect. Okay, so some periods are highly volatile. Okay, some periods are highly volatile. You can see here, some period are volatile is less. Some period you can see the volatile is high. And again. So phase you can see the different phase you can identify here. There's another phase here. Okay, they seem to be the volatility clustering. Okay, which we can't apply for this type of data. We can't go with the wireless techniques to examine our objective. We can't go for the even VAR or VZM model. Okay, even there also we need to prove there is no autocorrelation. The residual should be white noise. We say that the residual should be the white noise. White noise in the sense it should be free from autocorrelation. It should be free from the heteroscedasticity. For this is also very important for VAR and VZM. Correct? No, we call it as a diagnostic check, especially when you go with the ARDL model, we call it as a Kusum statistics, correct? Kusum statistics, and which is nothing but the stability, cumulative sum of square, we call it as. So stability test. Even there also, we have to run there should not be arch effect, there should not be autocorrelation. The residual is normally distributed through Jack-Barra. So there are such diagnostic checks. So, okay, when there is a arch effect in the data set itself, no need to go for the linear, no need to go for the OLS based models. So you can directly go to the arch and GARCH and eGARCH models. Okay, fine. So look at the first one, as I told you, it is volatility clustering number one. And look at the second one, we call it as leverage effect. So what is leverage effect? Sometimes when market falls, it will go down. Sometimes when market goes up, it will keep on goes up. Then again. So in terms of news, you take bad news. We believe that here, one of the important assumption here with the suggestion might be like a statement which we are expecting that the bad news has more impact than the good news. Correct? No. So the effect, the volatility, right? The volatility tend to be more for the bad news compared to good news. Nothing, that is a leverage effect. There are many reasons for leverage effect in finance. 2-3 reasons are there, which they bring the debt equity ratio, the theory behind, the reason behind the leverage effect. And here very simple. Actually, the leverage effect means the volatility will be more when there is a bad news, negative news, a negative shock compared to positive news or positive shock. Very simple. Okay, this is the characteristics of these are the characteristics of the stock market. Accordingly, the model has been built. Okay. Yeah, leptocratic and was not required. Now look at this. The daily S&P 500, US stock market data. Okay, you can see cluster. You can plot also. You can also plot your database. This is what I told you. I tried to download NSE data. Don't worry, we'll work with the GCC data. GCC data I have, we'll work for it. Otherwise, BSC data also I have it. Okay. So now, you can go with, look at this data. This data, by looking at this, we can come to know, and there are certain clusters are there. There are certain cluster and which is tend to be non-linear. This is not a linear. Understand? No, this is not said to be, we no need to prove whether it is linear. By looking at it, we can say it is non-linear, which is no, we can have a cluster here and which tend to be the time invariant. Okay, you can see here. On a sample, just I'm showing it. You can also download the NSE data, Nifty 50, and just plot it, get this type of data. Suppose the morning I have given all yearly data, GDP, but if you plot this, you won't get this type of data. Why? Because there is no, so variation, there is so much variation you can find out. You can predict the trend, whether it will upward or downward or maybe the stability, stable, no? And see the stability. Okay. So here, look at the homoscedasticity. I told you. The variance of the residuals should be constant. Should be the constant. So what is the meaning? What we assume that homoscedasticity means, homo means equal, scedasticity means spread. So the variance of the residual, right? It should be said to be constant. Okay, constant. Now here, if you look at this data, it's not to be tend to be constant, because by looking at we come to know the variance, no, like the variance tend to be changing. Correct? No, there is instability you can find out. Maybe some phase might be, no, some phase might be you can see the stability, and after that you can see the cluster growth there. Okay. So characteristics is very important for the application of GARCH and eGARCH model. Yeah, look at this ARCH model. Please look at this term. The first one, the variance. The variance. Look at here. The variance of whatever the consider, the dependent variable that you want to. Okay, so the variance of the error is based on, see, the residual or the error is based on the dependent variable you are using. Suppose I'm using YT. What is YT? Maybe the dependent variable, which is YT is equal to alpha 1 plus beta 1, YT minus 1 plus UT. Plus UT. No. This is the equation which I have constructed. I will construct my estimation. Now see, the model will capture the variance of which one? The variance of the error. Yes. Is what here? The variance of the error, the residual. Here we are giving, see, this model is purely based on autocorrelation, you know, right? Autocorrelation is based on the successive error term, right? No, successive error term. That is what, no, we have seen the expected value of U1 and Uj, which is not equal to 0. Because U2 is influenced by U1. So here the GARCH model is completely based on the residual. Okay, and the residual of course depends on YT plus YT minus 1, this equation. Correct? No, YT basically YT. This is also not required. The residual is determined, no, estimated based on. Okay, so look at this equation. Conditional, this is called as conditional variance, or put in a very simple way, this is the variance of the error, okay, which is equal to C intercept plus this is U square, the residual square of the past. Residual square of the past. Okay, so please, the current value of the variance of the error, the current value of the variance of the error, which is equal to the squared residual, the previous of the past value of the squared residual. Actually here, what is this arch effect? Basically, we want to, this is very put in very simple, it is a previous shock. this U T square minus 1, no? This is usually called as previous shock. Or the shock which is disseminated in the market just half an hour before or maybe the same day. Understand, no? The previous shock. No need to go for T minus 1. The latest shock that disseminated in the market. Because the shocks I told you yesterday, no? The shocks are captured by the U. We can't measure. The shocks are part of the residual factor. Error factor, we can't measure it. Okay, so that is UT minus 1. So the present current variance of the error term is nothing but based on the past shock. Okay. Just I will explain, don't worry. You can see the model, well, estimation. Okay. Now I am going with the extension of the same. Now this is what I explain here. You can see here. You can see here YT is equal to B1 X2. Okay, if you want to, X2 means what? You can bring all the macroeconomic variables or any variable. Okay, you can bring it. No, Nifty 50 is a function of S&P 500 also. You can bring it up to you. XT is all up to you. Now, where the variance, the volatility of this volatility, which is nothing but, I told you, no, this is the volatility of the error, which is basically from YT. Please try to understand. Sir, you see the EViews file, no, once you enter the data, automatically the residual factor will be generated. Understand, no? So this UT is based on the YT. So how to measure variance? Variance means the variance of the error is based on completely YT. The volatility of YT. Okay. So here, the volatility conditional variance, which is equal to arch effect. You can see here. You can see here YT. So here the conditional variance, this is called as the variance, which is time invariant. The function of alpha plus alpha 1 U square. It's a residual square. The previous past square error. Okay, past square. Yeah, see here. Yeah, here. So we can easily extend to this general case where the error variance depends on Q lag. We come to this lag, whether it is 1 or 2. Usually we go for 1 according to the Bowler slave who suggested that 1 lag is the better one compared to other model, in the year 1996. Okay, so we go with this. Usually we go with 1 only. No need to go for no. We usually test with the. I used to do some 4-5 GARCH models. I'll do, then I'll find out which is the best model. Okay, so it is better, suggested by Bowler slave 1996. You can go for 1-1 model. I'll tell you what is 1-1. So lag length you can go for 1. So this is arch equation. What is arch? Autoregressive conditional heteroscedasticity model, which is nothing but the conditional variance of the error is a function of the squared residual, the past. Okay, that's the meaning of the arch. Now there is one more term. What about the present shock? What about the present shock? That means, present shock means what? Same equation, little more extended with its own lagged value. Its own lagged value. Variance of the present conditional variance. I mean, the present value of the conditional variance. That become a GARCH model. This I'll later will do that. Yeah. So same ARIMA form only, but everything deals with the residuals. Okay, the volatility and the square residual. See here, variance and the square residual. The same equation, arch is extended to the GARCH. Okay, so what is the equation? So the conditional variance of the error term. So this is basically from the YT, right? Which is equal to alpha 0 plus This is arch effect, which is squared residual, previous shock which I told you of the previous, plus this lag term I have introduced. Nothing different. This lag I brought. Okay. So previous lag, own lag. This is based on ARIMA. Based on ARIMA. Okay. So here, this is called as GARCH effect, and this is called as arch effect. GARCH effect, arch effect. Very simple. This is a simple model actually, which is introduced in the year 1981. 1981. Okay. If I explain with the data to estimation, you can understand very easily. The extension of GARCH is the asymmetric. There is one more model. There are two models. One is GARCH model. The other one is the eGARCH model. What is eGARCH model means? Or asymmetric model we used to call this. So popularly known as the eGARCH model. The eGARCH model is asymmetric. Actually, I'll tell you the difference. The GARCH model, no, it has certain limitation. What is the limitation? It doesn't capture the news effect. Correct? No, the volatility should react based on good news and bad news. Actually, the GARCH effect, we won't differentiate the impact of volatility with respect to the bad news and good news. So we assume no, understand no. So here we are, in the eGARCH model, we capture the reaction of the volatility with respect to the dissemination of good news and bad news. That is the advantage. Nothing else. In such a way, the model has been put forth. Okay, so that is what we call it as asymmetric. Asymmetric means what? You know, the model, giving here we have, there is a condition that imposes. You know what is asymmetric? Symmetric means both sides are equal. What is asymmetric? It is skewed. So the model is, this model is constructed in such a way that it is skewed towards the negative than the positive. Why? Because the news, whatever the news content, bad news can disseminate in the market, it has a more impact than the positive, a positive shock or that is the reason. So it is asymmetric model. Okay, where we are giving importance to the negative sign compared to the positive. Still, okay. Still, we'll get both a value. Now, after estimation, okay, same model, after estimation, I'll show you what is which is the news coefficient. I mean, which is the asymmetric coefficient in the model. I will explain. Okay. Leave this because this is the asymmetric effect. This one is the asymmetric effect. There's one more called a T-GARCH model, which is also asymmetric model, and we are creating dummy towards negative news and positive news. Here directly we are giving fixing the constraint that negative news has a greater impact on the positive news. And this is the gamma, the gamma is the asymmetric, and this is arch, and this is the GARCH. Same. So this is arch, and this is GARCH. How identify GARCH? Previous value. It's based on ARIMA. It's GARCH. Alpha is used always, the alpha tend to be arch, which is nothing but the magnitude. How shock emergence in a way, magnitude, size. And this is the asymmetric coefficient. Okay. So got some idea, right? This, okay, these two is sufficient. If you want to go further, there are multi-models are there. We go on T-GARCH, you can go ahead with that. So what I will do is, I'll take a data, I will explain clearly. Okay, so before that, I'll show my article, which makes more clear about it, on what basis we are going for the GARCH and eGARCH. Okay, what is the equation? There are two equations here. Maximize this. There are two equations. So what is my objective? Listen here. Audience, the ARCH and GARCH models used with respect to various objectives. Please, you don't try to fit in one objective. First one is testing weak form efficiency. Testing weak form efficiency in financial data. The next one is to see the impact of one variable on another variable, provided there is high frequency data. Otherwise, I'll go for forecasting. Understand? No, first one deals with the single series, single variable. Sir, I want to just go with the forecasting. Yes, go for forecasting. Sir, I want to check the present, whether the present is influenced by the past. Or might be, like, you understand, no? Present is influenced by the past. There is a weak form efficiency theory in finance. Those who are from finance. Or, sir, I will go for impact of one on another. For example, I want to analyze the impact of risk on return. Understand? No? Or I want to find out the impact of the macroeconomic variable on the volatility of the market. Volatility of the market. You can see. Okay. So different scenario, this ARCH and GARCH model, or GARCH and eGARCH model has been used. So all cannot be used this model. First, most of them are you deal with the OLS related model, The estimation, everything is all based on the OLS, whether it is the, unit root or whatever, co-integration or VAR, VCM, ARDL, correct, no? So now this is a non-linear model. Non-linear model based on the high frequency data. So first we have to identify, we need to go for identify the special characteristics of the database. Okay, so look at this equation. First one, this is what is my objective here. My objective is to find out, you can understand, better understand, this will give a clear-cut idea about it. So my understanding is, I want to find out the impact, look at it, to address the impact of futures and options market. What is my objective? To study the impact of futures and option market on the volatility, the conditional variance of the Nifty 50. Correct? No, Nifty 50. Why it is a conditional? Conditional variance of what? Conditional variance of the error, which is derived from returns. Try to understand. No, I'll tell you in a very simple way. When is the futures introduced? Futures introduced in the year 2008. Futures contract introduced in the year 2008. Before introduction of futures, what is the volatility of the Nifty 50? You got my point, sir. Before introduction, why futures introduced? The reason the futures contract, the derivatives introduced to stabilize the market. To stabilize what? To increase the efficiency of the market, to stability, to reduce the instability of the market. Instability means what? We talk about to increase the efficiency. Sometimes after introduction, whether the market is destabilized or destabilized, I do not know what is the effect of the introduction of futures contract on the spot market volatility. The volatility, you know that. The conditional variance I'm talking about is the volatility of the RT. RT means it's based on the U, right? Okay. Sir, what happened here? I create a dummy. Look at here. I create a dummy coefficient. How I create a dummy? Before introduction of very good. Before introduction of contract, 0. After the introduction of contract, it is 1. That is a dummy. Easy. GARCH model, if you are work GARCH model with objective, it is very clear. It's very clear. Why we are going for GARCH and no ARCH model? Because of dealing with the high frequency data set where there is a volatility. We have to prove it. Yes, there is a heteroscedasticity effect. There is a volatility clustering. Yes, the data. I'll show you how to do it. We will run the ARCH LM test and prove that, yes, there is a ARCH effect. Then we'll directly go for the GARCH model. But objective, you have to be very specifically, because it's not like ARIMA. ARIMA purpose is very simple. What is the purpose of ARIMA? Only for forecasting. But here, it's a multi-purpose. Please, especially economics, those who are dealing with the exchange rate, daily exchange rate. There is no way you have to use it, the ARCH and GARCH and eGARCH model. Especially those who are dealing with the financial markets. Daily, tick by tick data. Minute wise, we'll pay money, and we'll get the minute wise data. Our cross-country stock market prices in the Bloomberg. Downloading the data from the Bloomberg. Bloomberg is a database. You want to do a cross-country study with the daily data. So there is no other go. You can go with the GARCH and the eGARCH model, which recently I got a data of GCC. What is the GCC country? What is GCC? Gulf Cooperation countries, no? Find out GCC countries. There are 12 countries, 7 countries. I got a data of 7 countries, GCC, stock market. And I am discussing with the other researcher. He's from the other country. When I'm discussing, it's a small project actually. I suggested him. I suggest there are many studies related to GCC market. So what you can do is you consider this pandemic. Because there is a change in the behavior of the stock market, right? Before COVID and after announcement of COVID. And I found the data that, yes, the public wealth report, the 20th January, there is a first death occurred in UAE. Recently, I've done an analysis. So I created a dummy from January 20th, 2020. Dummy 11111. Before that, 00000. So is there any changes in the stock market behavior on the volatility after the announcement of the COVID? I can't say post-COVID because of COVID still there, yes or no? No, sir, I am not published with respect to COVID. Mine is still there. This is one accepted, one still no. I need to submit actually. That is different concept. This one. COVID related, I've done 2-3 studies. I've just kept it. So I'm finding out the journal where to submit, scope I'm finding. Anyway, recently it has, in one journal it has come out. I have this idea, but in Indian context it has come. Then I want to apply for the GCC. I have suggested that professor, yes, go ahead with that. Then I have done analysis. He agreed and I have done analysis. So please, first you have to find out the characteristics of the data. Whether the data exhibits a volatility clustering. One thing, even asymmetric also to be tested using news impact curve. 2 sides, negative side and in fact, no, I don't have an EViews. Then I have estimated. Recently it is added. News impact curve. Yeah, asymmetric GARCH. There are many GARCHs there. If there is, even you can apply if there is a high frequency data you have. If the data exhibit volatility, you can apply. It's easy. Okay, fine. So what I'm saying, first one, objective. Sir, my paper show the paper, sir. So what is the objective of the paper? Impact of introduction. Impact of introduction of futures and contract on the stock market volatility. One paper I am taking. Okay, there's one more paper also which I forwarded. Sarah's forwarded in the morning. Just have a look. Beautiful paper about it using GARCH model. This is a 2005 paper. Yesterday, I struggled a lot to download. I told you Butterworth. Finally, I got it. I could able to get full paper. Please have beautiful paper on GARCH model. Please read it. It gave idea about for my study also. I inspired from that particular study. Okay, please go ahead with the same situation only, same kind of similar kind of study. Okay, so here I have created dummy. Okay, if dummy is significant, so what are the inference? If the introduction of futures has significant impact on the stock market returns also we see, on volatility also we can see. Volatility, mainly volatility I want to check. Okay, because I introduced the dummy not in the first equation, introduced the dummy in the second equation. So volatility mainly. So spot market volatility. Very simple. So your objective, you should have certain objective. Okay, so what exactly you're going to do with this volatility market, whether spot market volatility or futures, whatever the volatility, exchange rate volatility, you find it. Okay, so I'll show you the result. You can better know, you can able to see the outcome. Okay, look at the first table. This is about pre-futures. What are the pre-futures? What do you mean by pre-futures? Pre-sample. Pre-sample means what? Before the introduction of futures, the first column. Second column, after the introduction of futures. So I'm just giving about the sample, how I classify. Forget about options. Option also same thing only. It was introduced after the future, I classified. Then, have you seen GARCH test there? GARCH. So GARCH test, GARCH is the test of normality. But the data is not normal here. But showing the graph, that it's not normal. So here GARCH test. What it says, the data is not normal. That's fine. That's one indication. Then go for one more. We call it as ARCH LM test. What is ARCH LM test? Lagrange multiplier test. We need to confirm, no. Diagram is not sufficient. We need to confirm there is a arch effect. What is arch effect? What is arch effect? The volatility clustering effect. The density of the volatility. Okay, that we need to. So what is the null there? No homoscedasticity is the null hypothesis. What is alternate? Heteroscedasticity is the alternate. Homoscedasticity, heteroscedasticity. So here, what is the probability value says? If you look at all the p-value, we are rejecting the homoscedasticity, and we confirm there is a volatility clustering. First step, this is the first step for your paper. You can also write a paper. Those who are dealing with models, the scholars those who are dealing with this model, and 100% I'm saying you can able to, they have idea much before that, before this article, they have some idea about the GARCH model. Since they are getting, while seeing this, they get more clarity about it. Okay, what to do with that? I told you, because the GARCH and eGARCH model is, used for the several, based on different objectives. Now, look at this next. I'll go with the next one. This I'll come later. Yeah. Look at the GARCH model. GARCH model. If you look at the GARCH model, first one, full sample period. And what is a full sample? A whole sample with the dummy, Whole sample, full sample with the dummy. Okay, what is the first one? First one is RT is equal to, first one, look at A0. What is A0? A0 is constant. So what is A1? RT is a function of, what is A1? RT is a function of RT minus 1. Lagged value. What is A2? Nifty Junior. Why I introduced Nifty Junior? Because of the theoretical concept. They said no, like the market-wide factor. The Nifty is a function of the market-wide factor. Market-wide factor. How to bring the market-wide factor? I want to bring the Junior, Nifty Junior, which consists of more stocks compared to the 50, Nifty Junior. So I brought it. Theoretical concept. So I brought it. Sir, where is the worldwide factor? You can also bring the S&P 500. But I didn't brought that. I stopped with only Nifty Junior, which as the representing what world. So that is based on the theory you just ignore. But still, one interesting fact you see. This is significant. And what is A2? Junior also significant because there is a, I'm just controlled what market wide factor that influencing the Nifty. But don't ask me, sir, the Nifty 50 is a part of Nifty Junior. No, Nifty Junior consider more stocks compared to Nifty 50. So that is the reason I brought it. Okay. So there's a valid reason. Okay, this is over. Till A2 over. Come to GARCH. This is GARCH model, HT. Okay, volatility. Condition vary is nothing but the spot market volatility, which is nothing but the, from the error of the RT. Okay, that is HT. Okay, this is arch effect. I told you. This is arch effect and this is GARCH effect based on ARIMA, extension of ARIMA. Plus, what is this? Dummy. Very simple. My work is based on. So here, what I got it? Okay, this is arch, this is GARCH, and this is dummy. Now I'll give you one condition, follow that. Under GARCH model, when alpha plus beta is equal to 1, under GARCH, when, this is the condition, okay, when under GARCH, when alpha, arch effect plus GARCH effect, both is close to 1, then the market is said to be persistent. Persistent means what? Whenever there is a the news disseminate, it takes long time to disappear in the market. You understand Indian market? No, there is a news release, in the market, bad news. How it's a long time, 4 or 5 days to dilute. There is a persistency effect, we call it as. So please remember alpha plus beta, because there is a condition with respect to the GARCH, when alpha plus beta is equal to 1, it should not beyond 1. It won't go beyond 1. If it goes beyond 1, it is wrong actually. That's not right. Your model is not right. So you won't get it. This plus this should be equal to 1, close to 1. So what is the interpretation?
Sir, I have a doubt
The
here.
market is more the persistency. This is what I want to do. Okay, plus dummy. Then can you say the market is persistent? No, the Indian market is persistent. Then what is the interpretation of this? The future dummy. No, it is destabilized or stabilized. Destabilized or stabilized. Destabilized or stabilized. Destabilized means what? Goes. It has a negative impact. Minus or plus is important. Minus means, here it is minus. Why? Stabilizing. When the market means goes up, explode, try to stabilize. Destabilize means plus. It won't come up. It won't, no, once it goes up, it will go up. So it should, no, destabilize means it should come down to the path. That means here I want to find out the impact of introduction of futures contract on the market volatility. So volatility increases. Plus means volatility increases. That means the introduction of futures increases the volatility. Correct? No, that's a destabilizing effect. Stabilizing means reduce the volatility. That's a stabilizing. So I got minus sign, which is stabilizing the market. See, my study is on market volatility. That is what here. This is my target, not this one. I am not studying the impact of Nifty Junior on RT. That is not my focus here. My focus is on the impact of the dummy. That means introduction of futures on this volatility derived from the first one, first equation. We call it the mean equation. The volatility is based on the variable that you are introducing. I mean, incorporate. So look at here. In addition to this, forget about dummy. I check the persistency. Before introduction of futures and after introduction of futures, what is the level of persistence? Can you please have a calculator find out? You add these two. Which is greater? This is greater if you ask. I think so. This is greater or this is greater? I think this is slightly less. Point. This one. Beautiful. That means after the introduction of futures, the persistency effect has been reduced. Come on, reduced. Correct? No. This was simple. With this explanation, I mean, with this, the paper. So that's what I want to tell you. Always know, read the article with respect to your area, which you'll get more idea about. Okay. The arch and GARCH means based on purely we apply based on the heteroscedasticity effect, which is the volatility clustering. Got it? No? Now, sir, I want to, in addition to this, I want to see the asymmetric effect. Whether the bad news has a more impact or positive as the more impact. I want to see. I applied for the EGARCH model. EGARCH means exponential GARCH model, or you just say asymmetric GARCH model. I'll show that result also. Yeah, see here. See the result of asymmetric GARCH model. See the result of asymmetric GARCH model. Here alpha 2. Alpha 2 is a dummy. Again, I got the minus sign. Again, I got a minus sign. Good, no? Okay. One thing, which is asymmetric coefficient here. Please make a note. This is asymmetric coefficient. This is the, so in the output, no, the output you can come to know that. In the output now, I will estimate what is the asymmetric coefficient. You can able to see that. So this is the asymmetric. I don't want this, whether it's arch, this is, I told no, the AR term is GARCH. Alpha 1 is a GARCH. The 2-3 conditions I'll tell you. And this is arch, the sign magnitude effect, which not required. These two are very important. So here I'll come first, one by one I'll come. Here dummy is negative, right? The dummy variable is negative. That means stabilizing the market. Reduce the volatility of the market. That is number one. Second interpretation. News coefficient. So news coefficient. Is it negative or positive? Negative, and this is statistically significant. Oh, statistically insignificant. Anyway, leave it. Statistically insignificant. Z value, insignificant. Here, if it is negative, what is the interpretation? The negative news has more impact towards on more impact on spot market volatility. This is the interpretation. Very simple. Asymmetric coefficient. If it is positive, means positive news has more impact than the negative shock on the spot market volatility. It's simple. Okay, logic. Understand the logic. But here I'm going to teach you, but it is statistically insignificant. If I go and say Indian market is asymmetric market, people try to laugh at it. Indian market is asymmetric market. You know that correct? No? You agree? No? It's react to the positive news and the negative news, where the negative news has greater impact on than the positive news. Everyone knows it. But what I got it here, negative news has greater impact than the positive news, but the coefficient is statistically insignificant. Don't know seriously. Now also I'm thinking how I got this result. Anyway, no issues. Now come to this one. This coefficient is GARCH coefficient. In eGARCH is a setup where the GARCH effect is close to 1. The market is persistent. Please try to understand. What is the value here? Close to 1. The market is persistent. So two different interpretation conditions. One is for GARCH, the other one is for eGARCH. Here no need to add. Okay, no need to add these two. No need to add. That is separate. This is separate. Only the GARCH, the condition is met. The alpha plus beta should be equal to. This is one side. One side means this is one side of objective. One side of objective. So we can deal with multiple objectives. I will give one assessment. You do it. Those who are into financial market, publish it. I'll give this idea. You collect Nifty. You collect Nifty. I'll give one, those who are no interest in writing paper. I'll give one assessment. Do it. First one. Then we'll go to that, no? Step, it will take time, quickly we can do that. I'll give one idea, okay? Those who are writing paper, take some 15 plus emerging markets. Emerging stock markets. Emerging, leading stock markets. Stock markets. Correct? No. You understand? No. You take US, then UK. Okay, some European stock market you can take. Greek. You take Japan, China also, combination of South Asian. Okay. Now 15 plus emerging stock market you take. Stock market price you take. Okay, fine. What you have to do, you need to study, find out when the COVID, the pandemic was announced in that country. And date changes, no? Here and there some changes in the date. Find out. No problem. Okay, find out. You take for example, I said no UAE. One example I'll give you, or Oman, or any one. Okay, or you take no Indian way to go Indian market. You take NSE 50. NSE 50. Indian. Okay, India. You take the data, collect the data from, let's say 2016. 2016 to 1st January. 2016 to today. What's the day? 7th. Okay, December today. December 2024. I am classified as two sample. Very good. Before the announcement of COVID and after the announcement of COVID, before and after, post pandemic. So pre and post pandemic outbreak or just this COVID-19. Beautiful study, I'm telling you. Put across it. High chance of publishing in ABDC, B or A category. Scopus Q1 or Q2. Why? The reason is, how many countries? 15 plus. 15 plus. I will do the estimation. Just 5 minutes will take. Okay. So what is the market I have taken? One sample is Nifty 50. So what is the pre-sample? What is the pre-sample? Pre-sample. How many samples? Pre-sample and post. So what is the pre-sample? Starts from anyone? 1st Jan to 2. When is the COVID announcement? We'll put 20th January. Find out with the reference, proper reference. So 20th Jan 2020. This is number 1. Phase 1. What is the post one? 21 January 2022. 6th December. Very good. Understand, no? December. Pre, post. What you have to study now? Pre, post. The stock market, no? Behavior. Behavior of emerging stock market. Or stock market behavior of emerging, no problem. Emerging countries or emerging leading countries. You keep it after. Stock market behavior of the emerging countries, leading countries. 15 plus, 20 plus you take. Or one more topic I'll give you. Market behavior means what? Market behavior means all this persistency. Persistency. Weak form efficiency. Weak form efficiency. What is weak form efficiency here? When the market is persistent, you can still beat the market, no? Yes or no? Sir, yesterday bad news, still it continues for 3-4 days, so that using that information I can beat the market. So this is weak form inefficient. More. Little more, no, go with the theory, the hypothesis. So stock market behavior of 15 emerging countries or leading emerging or developed countries, developing countries. And for example, India, this is the way. So what you have to do? Divide the sample into 2 and observe the stock market, the behavior pattern. Okay? So understand, no? So what type of model can be used? You can use the GARCH and GARCH model. You can use it. Yes. Good study. Good study. You can measure the persistency, how I have done it. You can also say that before, is there any change in the stock market behavior, the pattern, before the announcement or after the announcement? So one I'm just giving a lead for you. Well, I'm doing it now for GCC country. You also do it this one. And there is plenty of scope in publishing also because cross-country, and also you're bringing the COVID effect. But COVID is not yet over. There is no announcement that COVID is over. Correct? No. That is what I'm using dummy for it. Dummy means what? I classify the same period. I said after the announcement of pre and announcement is pre and post. So now what we can do is the yesterday data you can see here. BSC Sensex is yesterday data already shared. Just open ARIMA. You can see a file. There is one file called BSC. Yesterday I shared a file. Is there a BSC index is there? Gobi sir, I have sent one file to you. You share it. Just now I found. Okay, this have you opened this data, right? Okay, click BSc 30, the first sheet. The first sheet you can see the BSc 30. BSc 30. This is Sensex data. So daily data. Daily data. Okay, daily data. Convert into log. Please convert into log. Is equal to ln. Please follow. I'm converting the data into log value. Okay. So ln is equal to the natural logarithm. ln, open the bracket, b2, enter. Okay. So this is, I consider as a price. This I consider as a price. This I consider as a price. Okay. Then calculate return. Want me to repeat, madam? Is equal to, open the bracket. Sorry, ln. Can you see what is ln? Natural log of a number. Okay. Open the bracket. Click on this. Click the cursor on this B2, right? Close the bracket. Enter. Enter. Then you double click. On the corner, it will be auto-filled. Then you calculate returns, R. So what is the formula for R? No, present minus the previous, it's become the difference. The difference is nothing, the returns for you. Okay, so which is equal to, open the bracket, first one minus the previous one, enter. So again, I'm repeating. I'm just doing a first difference, the delta, which is equal to, open the bracket, present value minus previous value. Close the bracket, enter. Double click it. Okay, so very simple. I have just converted the BSc 30, no, Sensex into price and log series, which is P, and returns, no, which is R. The first difference R. That's it. Why I am just working on, sir, why can't you work on price? Because again, no, the unit root test. Again, the unit root test. If you look at the unit root test, and this is stationarity at the first difference. So I want to work on the returns. I want to work on the returns based on the stationarity data. Okay. Now what you can do is import the data. I'll close it. You got this? Very good. Madam, you got this, no? You got other variables, huh? Save பண்ணீங்களா? Okay. You plot the graph now. How to plot the graph? Open the returns. Open the returns, plot it. Open the returns and plot it. I am doing it again. Open the returns. Go to view, graph. Click. Okay, let me see the price, how it will be, okay? No, okay. If you look at the returns, I am not finding much cluster on it actually. First one, initially there was a cluster, right? Initially there was a cluster, and remaining you can see a kind of stability. Anyway, we'll see to it. We'll check through statistics. Now this is a graph, no. Okay, how to do the first step? First step, what to do? Close this, go to quick, estimate equation. Go to quick estimate. I'm going to test the arch LM test, arch effect. Whether to go for arch or not. Okay, GARCH models or not. Can we go for GARCH type of models or not? How to check? First one is arch LM test. Arch LM test. How to do it? R space C R minus 1. R space C R space C space R minus 1. And bracket minus 1. R space C space R within bracket minus 1. That means RT minus 1. Not required. No, 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 no. No issues. It doesn't matter. Capital letter, small letter doesn't matter. Syntax error won't occur. So R space C R minus 1. Close the bracket. Enter. Good. Good result. Okay, this is OLS equation, no? Yes or no? This is a OLS method. Okay. View. Go to view. Go to view. Have you seen heteroscedasticity test? Heteroscedasticity test at the last. Go to view. Residual. I told you no residual. The arch and GARCH is based on the residual of the YT. Okay, so heteroscedasticity test. Click. Aha. Additional. Okay. Arch. So all the tests are related to heteroscedasticity. How much test you see? In Damodar Gujarati book, all this you can see. White test. Okay, the Pagan Godfrey test. White test also. Yeah, white Gletser test also. All based on the specification. All based on OLS. Okay, number of lag 1. Number of lag 1. Click OK. So what are the inference? Look at the F statistics here and its probability value. F statistics and its probability value. Is it arch effect is there or not? Arch effect is there or not? Null means no arch. Null means no heteroscedasticity. What is alternate? There is a heteroscedasticity. What is the interference? What is the inference here? Probability value is greater than 0.05. No, I mean it is greater than 0. So there is no heteroscedasticity. So I need to go for, no point in going for the GARCH model here, because by looking at the graph only I suggested, no, there is no volatility, much volatility here. Anyway, we'll go for graph. See, we'll go for a GARCH model. We'll see. How to go for GARCH model? Go to estimate. Keep the same equation. Have you seen arch here? Arch. Click. So it's asking you, by default, it is in GARCH. By default, it is in GARCH. Don't do anything here. Sometimes no, sir. Returns is here. What are the dependent variable? Returns. Can I go for risk? You know, in finance, how to measure risk? Beautiful. Standard deviation or variation. So, can I go for variance or standard deviation? Anyone. So, I'll go with the standard deviation. Along with this equation. See the advantage. Risk and return. So, how to measure risk in finance? Standard deviation. So, the same equation. I am dependent variable is my return and risk is my standard. It's optional. It's up to you. Okay. Now, don't do anything. There is no regressor. What the regressor means? Independent variable of the variance equation, the conditional variance equation. So here I am not constructing any dummy. Directly I am going to do that. Sir, where to come dummy? In variance regressor. What is variance regressor? Regressors means independent variable. Independent variable of which equation? Conditional variation, HD equation. So that should come in that box where I kept the cursor. But I don't have any dummy as of now. When you are creating dummy, bring the dummy there. D1 or D2 or D some D. Okay. So now please, I'm going to estimate and see. There's a problem here, right? You're getting problem, right? Why, no? Why? The reason is there is one observation is missing on the top. It need continuous information. So what I have to do? Cancel. Go to returns. Go to returns. Okay. Where the sheet here? Return sheet I want. The first observation is missing, no? That is the reason. So we should give some value on it. Okay. Okay, what we do is we close this file. Don't worry, we'll estimate. You close this EViews. It need continuous data. I mean, continuously, we need to give. There is no missing information. Open the Excel. Just assign 0. No problem. Assign 0 for the first one. Okay. Assign 0 for the first one. Then save it. Come out. Then open EViews file. Okay. Because of the first value is missing. No, that is the reason. Now go to quick. Estimate equation. Or C or -1. Scroll down button. You can have the arch. You want to bring standard deviation, bring the standard deviation. Okay, now you click OK. No, some problem is there. Then I can remove this and see. Okay. Just let me work with P. There is missing values in between actually. Yeah, that is what irregular. Okay. So go to Q, P, C, P -1. Okay, students, I will do one thing. Audience, what I will do is, I will show you the procedure, okay? I'll show you the procedure of estimation. Okay, there is some missing value in between. No, there is some missing value in between, which doesn't take it. Okay, now look at here. There is one, let's say this is I'll go with Kuwait. This is the stock market. Listen, stock market, just follow this step. Okay, how to do it, the GARCH and eGARCH. This is the stock market returns of the Kuwait stock market. Kuwait stock market. Okay, let me go with the graph now. Horrible. There is no volatility clustering here actually. Anyway, no issues. Let me close this. Go to quick. Estimate equation. So Kuwait is a variable, no? QUWAIT. Kuwait. C is a return, okay? The return of the Kuwait stock market. -1. Okay, I'll go with the GARCH model. If you look at the GARCH model, ARCH1, GARCH1. So don't do anything. Sir, still, sir, I want to introduce the standard deviation. Yes, you can introduce the standard deviation. Click OK and see this is the result. Okay, this is the result. I have taken one stock market, no Kuwait stock market. Sorry that whatever the data I have given, there is no continuous, continuity is not there. So it's not working. Anyway, this is the way. Now look at this equation. Look at this equation. I'll tell you the result. First one is mean equation. Mean equation means the returns equation. RT is the function of constant, the lag term. Lagged is significant, right? Significant. Yes. Probability value, significant. Look at the risk, standard deviation. Look at the standard deviation which I incorporated. It is significant. But the thing is, higher the risk, it is negative. Higher the risk, lesser the returns. So higher the risk, always right hand side variable should be always increase in 1 unit or increases. See the impact on the dependent variable. So increase in risk leads to reduce in returns. So there is a negative relationship between the price and the risk and the return. So you are taking risk and there is no reward for you. This is such a market. Okay. Now come to the you have to find out whether higher the risk, higher the risk. So you have to find out why. Sometimes there is no independent relationship between the risk and return. You have to find out. So there is a theory behind it. Black theory. Sharp is. So CAPM model also. Just consider why it is. Okay, fine. Come to the next one. This is arch effect. This is GARCH effect. Can you please add these two? What is the coefficient? Again, there is a problem here. Right. Is it 4.46? I'm just asking, is it 4.46? 4.56, no? The arch. That is what? It will work, huh? So here, no, but this is the procedure actually. I told you, do you remember a condition? Arch plus GARCH should be equal to 1. But here actually, more than 1. This is not right model. This is not right model actually. Anyway, this is a right estimation procedure, but you should look at the condition as she said. Right model. What's the problem here? There's something wrong with this data. So it's not the right way. Because the alpha plus beta should be always equal to 1. Should not be greater than 1. Anyway, no problem. But this is the procedure of estimation. So this is the GARCH model. So what is the eGARCH model? Just same step. Go to estimate. Go to view. Go to view. Not go to view. Here estimate. Here estimate. Don't go to view. There is an estimate here. Estimate. Scroll down button. There is a eGARCH. Okay. There is a eGARCH. Click OK. Okay. Look at the result. This is constant. Audience, this is constant. The equation specification is here. C4 is constant. C5 is the arch effect. C5 is the arch effect. Lag. This is conditional variance. C6 is the news effect. Okay. So C6 is news effect. What is the sign? This one should be close to 1. This should be close to 1 as I told you. This is not close to 1 and there is no persistency in the market. And this is positive sign. Look at this is positive sign. Make a note. C6 always. C6 is news effect. Otherwise, don't search in the equation. You want to understand. Equation is varies from book to book. So what I'm saying, C7 is GARCH effect. C6 is the, according to the EViews output. C6 is the news effect. C7 is the GARCH effect. C6 is the news effect. See, again, I'm repeating. C6 is the news effect. C7 is the GARCH effect. C5 is the arch effect. And C4 is the constant. So here I want the last two coefficients. One is C6. C6 is news effect. Which news has a more impact than the, which news has a more news? Which news has a more impact here? No, look at the sign and tell me. C6. Positive news has more impact than the negative news. Correct? No, according to this mark, I have taken a Kuwait market. I do not know how the nature of the structure of the Kuwait is horrible actually. The result is very bad. Okay, look at the C7. The market is persistent. The market is persistent. The market is persistent. Not persistent, not close to 1. That is no. This side, no, less than 1, no? Look at C7. C7 should be close to 1 if it is persistent. It is not persistent. Reacting quickly. Reacting quickly. Because there is no much volatile action. I've seen the graph. There is no much volatile. It's a fuel flat action. It's coincide. It's coincide. No issues. Yeah, this is about the GARCH model. Okay, GARCH model. But one more thing, the last step. Sir, after these models, any other test to do? Yes. We have to test again the heteroscedasticity effect. After whether this model is sufficiently capturing the heteroscedasticity effect or not, we have to see. So what you have to do, go to view, go to residual, arch one more time. Go to view, same output, residual, arch LM, arch effect by default it is there. How many lag? 1 lag. Click 1. Yeah. What is the interpretation? What is the interpretation? Still arch effect persists. Correct? No. Still arch effect persists. So you should not go for this model. You have to change the model and see. Maybe you can try the P-Garch model, Parch model. What is Parch model? Power arch model. Power arch model. Go with one more model. Torch model you try. Whether it is sufficiently capture the arch effect. The arch effect still remains. This model is not valid. This is called as diagnostic statistics. People will not accept your article. So this is a problem again here. Okay, so what I'm saying, this is the procedure of estimation. You can have your own data set and re-estimate. This is the procedure I want. Really. autocorrelation test. We OLS, for example, OLS or ARIMA. Go for OLS or ARIMA. I told you what is the assumption? The model should be free from autocorrelation. That means the error term should be white noise. That's the technically we call it white noise. The error term should be, the disturbance should be white noise. We need to prove it, whether it is for OLS or for ARIMA. Similarly, assuming there is a heteroscedasticity in the data, the volatility clustering in the data, we need to sufficiently, the model need to sufficiently capture that volatility, correct? Capture that volatility and keep it as a HT is a function of, HT is a function of the conditional variance equation. The model should sufficiently capture. There should not be any left out. Now, for the estimation. So after estimation, again, one more time, we are checking with that. Is there any heteroscedasticity effect is left out? The model or still no. Correct? No. So how to test it? Go for estimation. Go for the view, the same output. Go to view, click the RCLM, give 1 lakh, find out is there any heteroscedasticity effect left out or not with the residual. So there should not be heteroscedasticity. If there is, then this model is not a fittest model. Change your model. This is the question from the audience. Just I want to. So any other questions you want to take it? Because this is the way of estimation, the process of estimation. The data, there is no one, I didn't notice that one observation is missing. But still there is no heteroscedasticity effect. But that is the procedure. This is a way of estimating a GARCH and EGARCH. Okay. So I have done with this data. You have seen the coefficient. C7 should be GARCH, C6 should be news effect. Okay, these two are sufficient. The arch is not required for EGARCH. Take any studies. Overall, any model. Not only with this. We started from we started from the OLS, right? The classical methodology until the volatility based model, right? So any doubt you ask me, but what you can do is this you try, there are scope to publish in. So those who are especially into financial market, you can try. Our faculty may try, because already PhD scholars into the working, right, at the verge of completion. But still faculty member may try, You can try. Faculty members may try with it. So 6 countries, very good. You started. Beautiful. Yeah, you can try with not only with this commodity market also. You can. The same. You can look at the how the volatility in one market is spillover to the another US. Look at the volatility in US spillover to the volatility, create the volatility in the US market. Correct? No. How the volatility is spillover from one country to another country, cross country. That also you can see with using GARCH model, bivariate GARCH, multivariate GARCH. What I explained today is univariate GARCH. Go with multivariate or bivariate. Same specification only. Jointly need to estimate. There is a provision in EViews 12 to estimate. Scope, I am just saying. But objective, you can understand this model based on the objective. Okay, the objective make you clear what exactly it is. So any other questions, audience? You just, sir, any question come, please let me know. Just know, like.
So could you kindly clarify the difference between panel data analysis and time series analysis? How much of difference there is?
Time series, the data which you are collecting over the period of time. Correct, no, sir? You are collecting the data over the period of time. See, for example, you take India, you take GDP. Okay, you are collecting the information from 2020 to 2024. 2024. Correct, no? So you are collecting the information GDP from 2020 to 22. How many observation? How many observation here? Is it 5 observation? Correct, no? This is time series data. So panel data is all about the cross countries. It's all about the grouping. We call it as a grouping. What's the grouping or what is the cross country? I'll tell you. The same GDP data which I'm collecting for the multi-countries, several other countries. See, for example, here, I'm going to take 3 countries. One is India. The other one is Sri Lanka. Then I'm going for Nepal. 3 countries. So how many countries? 3 countries. How many year? Same. 2022, 2022, 2024. So 2022, 2023, 2024. So time series observation is how much? Time series is how much? So 5 years. Ah, yeah, you are right, 15 only. How many years? 5 years into how many country? How many country? 3 country. So how many number of observation now? 15. That's the advantage of panel. So panel data is a pooling of, it's a combination of time series and cross section. What is the cross section? Across the country. How many country? 3 country. Understand, no? This is the difference. So why people are going for the panel data, where you will get the number of observation will be more compared to the time series. Not only that, you can do a cross-country study. So this is Asian countries, selected Asian country. Selected Asian country, but individual country effect you can't do it. I'm not doing individual country. If I do individual country, it becomes time series. Understood? No. But there is a heterogeneity issue will be there. Cross dependency, heterogeneity. Okay, the issues with respect to panel is different. Okay, so hope I observed. I answered purpose. No. The coefficient, no, that's what I told you. Here, we don't have any answer because the sometimes no, we can't manipulate the data. Correct? No, we don't want to manipulate the data. So what we will do is we will retrieve the data. Correct? No. So we are retrieving from where? Authentic sources. We are retrieving from the authentic sources, whether it is RBI, it's a World Bank, okay, or from the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, or from OSPI, CSO, we are downloading the data. After downloading, we are directly going for the analysis. But we do not know outcome. But when I'm going to analysis, everything is based on the properties of the analysis. So this coefficient, what we are expecting should be 0 and 1. Even sometimes the regression slope coefficient, we are expecting 0 and 1. Sometimes it goes beyond. There is one way, just find out, just go through the data once, try to clean the data. First one thing. Second thing, look at whether you are properly specified in accordance with the theory. And third thing, to change the model. In my case, GARCH model, which we got alpha plus beta is equal to, I never expected this. What the mistake? I have to go home and find out. The first time I'm seeing, it is 5. Really, that I made a mistake. There were exactly the mistake because of the incorporation of the standard deviation. Maybe I'll try with variance and see. So I'm thinking now, I'm in that mood now. How I become, 1 is there, where 5 is there. The first time I'm seeing the record, no, in my experience with the GARCH that I'm seeing, alpha plus beta is close to 5. Anyway, sir, so this is what the answer. Look at the data and look at the coefficient, no, in accordance with the theory. Okay. Otherwise, no, change the model and see the specification. Or is there any specification is wrong, or go with the changing the model. We can't do anything like this one. So we have to be no problems. Generalized method of moments. So why we are going for it? We can go with the panel setup or go with the time series setup. Why we are going with that? Because it will be when you have a problem, because this GMM is applied in the two contexts. One is you can go with the time series. The other one you can go with the GMM in the panel setup. Panel data estimation. I think the scholar, I think, is working on a panel, I think so. Panel data. Anyway, so when there is a, leave it, even if you work with the time series also fine, there is you can go ahead with that. Generalized method of moment. See, when there is a problem of the autocorrelation, when you have a problem of autocorrelation, the GMM is a method which sufficiently detect and capture the problem of, control the problem of autocorrelation. That is the reason people are going for the GMM with instrumental variables. Okay, instrumental variable. That is the one reason. If you go in more technical, there are 2-3 advantages are there where we are going for applying the GMM. I think GMM mainly, I won't suggest to go for the GMM now because people are going for 2 GMM now. One-way GMM gone now, two-way GMM now, two-way GMM. So what I'm advising, if it is panel data setup, go for two-way GMM. But GMM, as per the panel data setup, okay, it is advisable. Otherwise, try with I just advise the scholar to try with the fixed and the random effect, fixed effect model and random effect model, and let he or her go for the Osman specification test to find out which one is the best one instead of going for the GMM. Because what I will advise that there is this random effect and fixed are superior than the GMM. Okay, so mainly to detect the detect and capture the autocorrelation issue, people going for the GMM. I advise if you want still stick to the GMM, try for two-way GMM also. That's what I want to. Any other thing? My advice is the general. Actually, one side, no, I'm very happy that the students are attending this workshop. Please listen. You will get some idea. Definitely, I know that you got some idea. Maybe